enclosing field of abstraction on which all life has traction. Getting a little rapture, practice friction, turning that narrative into fiction. Up into the foreground of the future, facing forwards. Delightfully unfascist on the inside. Delightfully unfascist on the inside. Delightfully unfascistic 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 on the inside. Delightfully unfascistic. Delightfully unfascistic. Delightfully unfascistic on the inside, but so utterly fascistic on the outside. We got the poor old market, one world organ, ratchet and rhizome, and the unfinished web, and the unfinished war, and the modernist plans for the faith-driven market. Ultimate institution, monophase structure system, like a pleading gesture for the future structure in a culture at large, in the one economy world as it is. Gentle lemming manifesting, lust moving backwards. It's so expensive to have a one. Oh, splendid old market. Oh, splendid old market. Grabbing up material and logics. So delightfully unfascistic on the inside. Thoroughly unfascist on the inside. Like, come on, we'll find some funding for ya. Billion little ventures and your billions of this and that cheaper. Glue spray and bonds. We have got to open up the market. Like a plan, do the looming massy gathered pattern of the plans I got to buy me. A pattern of the plans. But so terribly fascistic on the outside. Neither the temporary conviction of the lawyer, nor the bushwhacker's self-deception. We don't need no simple second. We don't need no simple second. We don't need no simple second schizo mind map. I got to buy me a pattern of the plans. I got to buy me a pattern of the plans. A pattern of the plans. A pattern of the plans. Like a plan, dig the pattern of the plans. Like a plan, the invisible hand. 100 billion workings out. Ain't gonna get no heroin addiction. Put your faith in the market. What I mean to say is put your faith in me. In a multiple economy of the body. We have got to open up the market. Like a plan, do the looming massy gathered pattern of the plans. I got to buy me a pattern of the plans. Name that invisible hand. It is the chorus of the cells, singing a structural hunger for the next. Satiety seeking absolute speed scale. Satiety seeking absolute speed scale. Truly postmodern material, future garden structure. Truly postmodern. Truly postmodern material, future garden structure. The chorus of the cells, singing a structural hunger, coursing through the veins of the future garden structure. Coursing through the veins, coursing through the veins. Future garden structure, future garden structure. Truly postmodern material, future garden structure. Coursing through the veins of the future garden structure. Coursing through the veins of the future garden structure. The chorus of the cells, singing their structural hunger. Coursing through the veins of the future garden structure.
Culture is a bridge for the paraculture towards world organ economies.
A new typical, mysticalicious, moral and methodical garden of heaven on earth, development scheme. A culture of proposal, a culture of mutation, happily in error. Hello, we are the errorists, and this is a public syntax experiment with intent. It's a rough draft, and its craft is organizational, as in building the organs. It's got abstract Protestant motion graphics to help you to establish a direct relationship with the godmouths. God mathematical champagne Marxists, as in champagne for all. To build the garden for that kind of party. To build the garden for that kind of party. To have mini TV, a Yale degree, and a teeny bit of LSD on the edge of catastrophe, with a rain-washed London spreading out below. From this jolly rum position to propose a new, typical, moral and methodical, a culture of proposal, a culture of mutation, happily in error, and so without terror, to hold our mirror to the freight train, to render form to God, to render form to God, and to give it to your iPod as a foundational faith and infrastructure, just what we need. The fancy curved beat to suck the sap out of the flower butter. We are the errorists, and this modest looking, but it's high resolution analogy map exegesis. It's ironed out in 3D to rid it of the creasing which plagues so many other models of reality, with ghettos of meaning. This song is them screaming trellis formation philosophy, packaged as a landscape, so the age of Aquarius can down on its homemade hypertextual syntax octopus. Don't be a hypertextual syntax octopus. Don't be alarmed, this is not a framework, it's a trellis. This octopus is a trellis, even less. Oh, we do it for the grandkids. If we don't start the trellis, then who the fuck is? We gotta guide them. Global, we've been waiting for the trellis formation philosophy, to hold the future fruiting endpoint, to hold the future fruiting endpoint, to hold the future fruiting endpoint at the next absolute scale of economy.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Lucky equilibrium, but now we need the next one. The leap to cosmopolitan. What should we call it? It's natural.
inevitable.
Do you like to?
Okay, you made it popular, and now the errorists are here with new vernacular. Oh, it's a tour of everything you know, packed in a little boat, floating out in the cosmos alone. It's not the time punctuated slice of the fillet, but chopped across under the head we haven't named yet. It's a cross-functioning rhizome in the ever-passing momentum of the present chop of the fillet. Whoop, there it goes, and there it goes again. Ever on to the next now. You made it popular, yeah, you made it popular, yeah, you made it popular, yeah, you made it popular. And now the errorists are here with new vernacular. Oh, with the hood, egonaut facing avant-gardener, the central turgid twist, out from which diminishing life traverses multi-instance interspersed with the intentional singular. We are chipping away at a vibe sculpture with the punk introduction of the dance of incredulity, meta-narrative terror. How does it all stay tethered to reality? It's all materialism issue, really scary and deep down credibility crisis, agreement on prices. The dripping mystical early Christians of Egypt around 65 AD. They had it going on with the epic trip in physics model of the Nile Valley, a model of reality. It's a worm, a life tube on within and without. Every little cells is organelles, is protein shells, is replicating monoquide hells bells, atoms fragile, lacy like a life central strand of soil on which words so super fancy a 3D fractal
little bit warmer water, the little bit warmer water pushed the storm from the norm. It was a little jostle change in reality. Triumvirates of future gaming Superman. Oh, the right guy and the left guy and the son of a gun, good actor one. They flipped down, gamed out frameworks, one after the next one. Simple data faceting the phenomenon. Oh, the chariot crash at the gates of the millennium.
Chariot crash at the gates of the millennium.
The subsidence of the flow to equation, fragility and constancy. And she sings, if you fuck with me, oh, I will be fundamentally the mother, ecologically the nigger that you'll be calling daddy, of your tether to reality, of your tether to reality, of your tether to reality. It's an attention compression equation, undermining its own foundation, birthed from a perch so far from the event, in order to see its patterns.
The future game and framework of the modernist
Hits the ground to be splat plastered onto the edge of the flow. The flow with no loops except for loads of foreign troops. And the stench of their necessity, compression terms, the structural adjustment of the local agricultural hopefuls lining up for World Bank rubber checks, landing at Monsanto. GMO soybean skim on the mud that used to be deep, thick and nested, biologically invested, foundational economy, a way to navigate reality. Oh, here in the quite meta-narrative homeland phenomenon of culture in time, frumpled, green and frilly, clinging to a simpler chemicality, spherality, necessity and convenience. And she sang, this extracted, refined and recombined modernista materialismus has got to be the trellis for the city of the gardens. And she sings, Hilf mich, Schwester, hilf mich, Schwester. Help me, sister, I'm stuck under the wheel of a chariot crash at the gates of the millennium. I'm shooting back fast to simplicity, like a rug under a runner. Oh, help me, sister, please. Hilf mich, Schwester. Hilf mich, Schwester. I need to hear from you, little doctors, not from the relative mind of the lifetime, but from the ancient, universally moral, viscerally intrinsic, aesthetic sensitivity of the body. I need to hear from you, little doctors. I need to hear from you.
Sie sind als maximal abstrahierte Ausführung ausgeblüht der Realitätsböe. Mit dem Richtungswechsel fällt die Blüte ohne Frucht.
These adolescent fluorescences, these selfishness, themselvesness, erroristnesses from the ancient, viscerally intrinsic, universal, aesthetic sensitivity and morality of the body. You wanna hear from we. You want me, the little we, peeping behind the curtain of your body. Ooh. You wanna hear from the choirmeister of the chorus of the cells of every human body. You wanna hear from we about the bubbles, the bubbles, the bubbles, the bubbles, the bubbles. There's the finance bubble, the housing bubble. You wanna hear from me how the bubbles became cathedrals of economy, new foundational faith in infrastructural, for example, how deluge and Guantanamo and riots in global ghetto became les enfants du globe, coursing through the metro of the dynamo, Europeo and New Americana. Ow. How profits based on American spending will soon be heading into uncharted territory. Yeah. The military bubble, the war bubble, yeah. The bubble is a structural hunger to formalize the bubble into, to formalize the desire, the production desire, the structural hunger. To formalize the bubble into structure. You wanna hear from me how bubbles became cathedrals of economies, new foundational faith in infrastructure, a new foundational faith in proper economic and close navigation of reality. For example, how deluge and Guantanamo and riots in global ghetto became les enfants du globe, coursing through the metro of the dynamo, Europeo and New Americana. Ow, the New Americana. Deluge and Guantanamo. Deluge and Guantanamo. Deluge and Guantanamo. endless formation for our production of the necessities and conveniences of our gardening bodies, our gardening bodies. Physically rejoicing vessel, physically rejoicing vessel, safe and sheltered to dance with every other human. Vessel of mind, vessel of a lifetime, vessel of a lifetime. Hold it up and out to the riotous proposal song of difference, safe and sheltered to dance with every other human for a moment. Across a lifetime of visits on your birth month to Mecca, to dance with every other human for a moment. That's what it's all like to be. Super cellularity in the organ garden of economies of meaning, where there's never a single hungry cell, but that the dinner bell does ring across the entire universal. Faith in infrastructure of the body. The body wants the noumena into phenomena, an indestructible infrastructural garden of heaven on earth. But the mind wants dangerous design competition, axe murdering proposals in the digital cathedral, lacing over the world. And the body wants collaborative production of the finest for all. Solar seas and roiling greens stretching across the desert not far from me. And the mind wants design democracy at the pixels per inch of reality. Innermost electricity, holding overlapped transparencies of all humanity's dreams. To have a mega plan, a plan of all plans, a future garden DNA, social syntax strand. And what's more, to feel humanity coming up behind me, and of course alongside and out in front of me.